Hey, welcome to EPS ParaTalk. I'm Robert, and this is...
I'm Janie.
And Janie, how are you doing today?
I'm still kicking.
That's a positive. Not, we got plenty of property out here.
Yeah, right. Here we go already, right off the bat. We just said we're not going to laugh. We're not going to cut up right off the bat.
You have to, if you're thinking that, again, you use this and you got to say it. 'Cause we didn't say we weren't going to.
You told me to get all my meanness out before the live started, so that I wouldn't use bad words.
You didn't.
I'm not going to promise you I might not still
words.
use a bad word.
That was the bad words.
No, I'm good.
And we do have somebody behind the scenes. So if you hear somebody else talk or laugh or referee a little bit, who do we have?
My granddaughter, Shay.
Shay, say hi.
Hello.
There you go. As she tucks her little head inside her little sweatshirt.
She spent the weekend with her Nana, which is good. She's been a good help.
Yeah, she has.
What?
Poor thing. All right, what are we going to talk about today?
Whatever you want to talk about today.
I appreciate that so much. You know, you are like the easiest co-host to get along with when it comes to what we're going to talk about. How long ago did you come down here?
About 2 minutes ago. It's like, popped in 2 minutes ago. Are we ready?
Sean, obviously.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, baby.
Sean, thanks so much. Sean is obviously one of our team members. We certainly appreciate everything he does. He's going to go ahead and share some out for us. We absolutely appreciate that. Glenn, thanks for being on with us. We're going to give it just a moment for other people to go ahead and get the messages. Things Network, whoever's on for Things, thank you for being on as well. Love being on the network.
What?
Right?
Absolutely. I'm tired. Don't be starting with me this morning. I'm tired.
Well, we're going to wake her up, okay? Because we got some little things we're going to talk about.
Why did you bring those down here?
I only brought one.
Oh, you butt. You're a butt. Can't say bad words. He said I couldn't say bad words. Howdy, Sheila. He's a butt.
So I was trying to get you gave me the perfect lead-in for it. We'll talk about her favorite figurines here in a moment or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it if you keep that over there, please.
That better.
Over there in that trash can would be better.
Shay, what's up, girl? Thank you so much, so much, Shay, for
Irene,
sharing.
hi.
We appreciate that.
Gina. Hi, Gina.
Reen, hopefully it's going all right over there. Love the reach we have.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely. Cool. Guys, please remember to share and like our page so that we can get our information out to more people. We would really appreciate it. Hi, Amber.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Irene. Thanks for sharing. And again, if you want to post your team page, your contact info, feel free to put it up there.
She told me slap you.
Wow.
Sheila told me to do it.
It's nothing unusual. She slaps me all the time. Is that something new?
No, but when I get permission, it makes it so much nicer.
No problem. What are you flinching for?
Because you
already?
just beat me in the back before we started.
You acted like you needed a little.
No,
help,
you just felt like you needed to be. He's a butt. He is a butt.
Anyway, let's talk about this week. First of all, we had some fun experience this week.
Thank God I wasn't the only one here when it happened.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Thank God.
Maybe next time. Well, from your granddaughter, I did find out that the trailer was the first time they moved.
Yeah, but they didn't come at me. They just came off the shelf. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I didn't count that because I didn't actually witness it. So I didn't know if the kids were just jumping around and they fell off the shelf. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I didn't count that.
Okay. Good investigation technique. I like that. I like that mentality.
I knew that they had came off a shelf before, but I didn't count it because, like I said, I didn't physically witness it with my eyes. It was just the grandkids telling me. And when you have that many grandkids in a trailer and they're all jumping around and playing, you don't know if it just got knocked off the shelf.
That's fair. I mean? That's more than fair. Well, to give you an idea, obviously she has a very long surface beneath her butt as far as where she actually sits on the shelf. You'll see basically a line right there. So it's about 1.25 inches, almost 1.5 inches. Not quite 1.5 inches.
Hi, Caitlin.
Caitlin. So as far as once they set up on a shelf, they're pretty sturdy. Yes?
Yeah. I mean, you've had them up there on that shelf in front of my coffee pot since we moved in.
All right. So let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about just recently we just had some activity here at the house, which is yay. Happy about that.
For him. Yay. For me, it's like,
Don't be
I got to
so
see
doom
it,
and
deal
gloom.
with it on investigation or on location. I don't want to have to do it at home.
Look, it's awesome, okay? Because we're always investigating. This is part of what it's about.
No, he's always investigating. There are some times when I'd like to just be living normal.
Bridget, thanks for being on.
Hi, Bridget.
So we've been, this week in particular, we've really been trying to empty out the other house. We have a rental house. You guys came and lived with me over there for about a month and a half or so.
Almost 2 months, yeah.
And then now we're in the process of just getting everything that we didn't bring over, other people's things that were left there.
Just
Unfortunately,
eliminating them out
just
of the
trashing
house.
everything.
Yeah.
So you and I had just gone over. We just took care of a dumpster over there, came back over here, walked in the house. Really didn't have much time to do anything. You went back out to pick up a couple of packages that we noticed had been dropped
Delivered
off
while we were gone, yeah.
So FedEx and UPS is really getting to know us pretty well over here.
They love us, I'm sure.
So when she got ready to walk back out, she had just walked through the door, and as you have to go out by the foyer, and at the foyer, walking from the kitchen on the left-hand side are the stairs that go down to the basement. And I noticed something that was very light tan color,
Almost like a blonde color.
a little darker tan than this right here, basically about the size of my upper torso, just right by the doorway. I mean, I knew it well enough that I had stopped her. I opened the door, said, "Hey, Janie, come back in here real quick." And she came in kind of like, "Okay, what?" Because I don't experience obviously nearly what you experience.
Right.
Sean and I have been picking up on more stuff.
Yeah.
So we walked down in here. I came in first, and I was kind of curious because I only have one little room down here that's off to the side, and I wanted to open the door. I mean, I didn't hear anybody. I didn't honestly think it was a physical person, but it was pretty obvious something had moved across there. Normally, I'm the type that would blow it off. Before I opened the door, what happened? I want your own words.
That thing jumped off the shelf.
No, not that. Down here, what happened?
Oh, right here.
Yes.
Yeah, there was some
Keep her up
stuff
to
going
speed.
on down here.
What happened to you when I got ready to open that door?
He said, I came down into the basement with him because I thought if there's something there, maybe I'll be able to pick up on it before. Because even though I know he can't see it or hear it like I do, I don't want him to ever walk into anything that I can't warn him of first. But I got about halfway across the room, and it literally felt like somebody pushed an ice cube straight through me. I mean, I immediately got goosebumps all over, chills, started shivering, shaking.
She was
lost my breath.
And trying to breathe.
Don't know what it was.
In a heartbeat, just took it.
Don't know what it was. Don't have a clue what it was. I opened a channel, tried to pick up what it was. Couldn't pick up a particular being, but I did pick up that in this corner over here was some really crazy like energy that made me feel that nauseous feeling. And
Right.
it just like came and went in waves. So I went back upstairs and left him to his own devices.
Well, once we got upstairs, as soon as we got up to the foyer, what'd you say? You turned right around and was like, what?
I don't remember, Rob.
I don't feel it anymore.
Oh no, I was fine. As soon as we got to the top of those steps, everything was fine.
As soon as
Cold
she got
chills
to
were
the top
gone,
of the
everything.
foyer, it was done.
Everything was gone. Yep.
So pretty interesting.
Yep. And then I saw something dark.
You went into the
That
kitchen.
came
I went
down,
into
yeah.
the living room, which the
Yep.
living room's on the other side of the foyer. Again, you've got the foyer, the living room's on one side, and the kitchen's on the other side. And she was in the kitchen. I went to the TV, got ready to start watching TV.
I was going to make a cup of coffee.
Before you got to the coffee, you saw the other.
I saw something. It looked like just a oblong, dark black mass, if you can call it that. Probably about this big, maybe that big in diameter. I'm not sure. But it shot from the wall in the foyer, right at the top of the steps, straight down into the basement, down the basement steps. So I yelled to let Rob know that something else came down here.
Yeah, her yell. Hey, ho, hey, hold! What the hell?
Oh my God.
So I obviously got off the couch rather quickly when I started hearing these bits and pieces of words coming out.
Screams and yells and bad words.
So, of course, I laugh at her because she's having some.
Because he laughs at me all the time. Even if I'm being attacked by something, you're laughing at me. He's a butt. He's a butt.
And Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
So that wasn't the only thing that happened. I went back to go ahead and watch TV.
I walked over to the coffee pot to make a cup of coffee. And the coffee station, I call it my coffee station, is like, it's kind kind of like a sideboard type thing. And it's up against the wall in the kitchen. And just above it is a long shelf that he placed those things on. They've been sitting there for weeks. Nothing has happened. We've not had any issues, have we?
Nope.
No problems with them whatsoever. I haven't felt strange around them or anything. Standing there, pulled the Keurig cap down, waiting for it to do its thing. And I'm just standing there looking out the window because we have deer that come right up in the backyard. So I'm standing there looking out the window, waiting for it to finish. And all of a sudden, this thing comes flying right at me.
You start to pour water into the coffee.
Into the coffee pot. I had the lid off and I poured water, was pouring a glass of water.
Right.
And right in the midst of pouring it, it came at me. Water went all over the floor. It hit the.
She jumped back. It hit.
Oh,
it
was
in front of her.
bad. It was
back.
very bad. Very, very bad.
See why you got to laugh about things? Come on, that was funny.
And he told me, let me just let everybody know.
Go ahead, let everybody know.
He told me.
That's what you what?
When he put them up there.
Did you believe him?
I knew I shouldn't. If I said, Rob, I don't want those things up there. I prefer they not even be in the house. I don't like them.
But you've done.
No, we're going. Let's just put them up there. And if we get any activity, then we'll move them. They're still up there.
No, I say first, if we start getting activity, I didn't delineate that it was going to be one-time activity. You know.
Yeah, I should have made you tell me in detail.
Tom, right?
Now he wants to wait until we get more and more and more activity.
Yeah,
if flies at me one more time when he goes to work.
Hush for a minute.
Stop it. I'm sitting over here next to you.
Can you say hello?
Hi. Who am I saying hi to?
The last person that just jumped on. Renee.
Renee. Hi, Renee.
Lori, what's up?
Hi, Lori.
Freddie, thanks for being on, buddy. Freddie's one of our team members.
My Sandy's on. Hi, Sandy.
Kimberly just jumped on.
Hi, Kimberly.
Awesome.
You got to come join us sometime, girl.
I just shot her a message before we went live. Said, hey, you're going to have to be one of our special
guests. Oh, my God. I would
love
to have her come join us for a live. I'd love to have her just come visit.
I went to Kimberly morning. I'm having a great day today.
Another Kimberly. Hi, Kim.
Bill Davis. Holy smokes.
Hey, Bill.
This is really turning out. Bill, you're going to have to go back and listen to part of this. This has been really, really good.
Bill, you're going to need to talk to him, honey. Talk to him for me. Don't look at me like that. Look at the camera. You're supposed to be looking at that dot right there.
Yeah, I definitely we'll definitely have Kimberly on as guest. Actually, we'll have both of them on at some point or another because Kimberly actually went investigating with us before.
Yes, she did. She did.
And I would like for her to tell her story sometime from her own account if she's up to it. Eventually, when we get Bill to come up here, that'll be another fun.
That would be great. That would be great. But Kimberly, I absolutely, Kim, I got to tell you, sweetheart, I have just went on and on about your energy and your personality since we met. I really want her to come visit just to hang out, to be friends. I really, really like her energy. She's an awesome, amazing young woman.
And she's obviously
I think she would be such an asset to this team. Kimberly, if yours ever does fall apart, you come join us, honey. Love to have you.
Again, guys, welcome to the show. If you have questions, feel free to go ahead and ask any questions you want. If you're kind of embarrassed, don't want to say anything in front of somebody, simply hit us up on our page. Yep. We'll go ahead and put that contact up there as well.
Yep. And listen, guys, please give us some feedback. Let us know what you would like to hear more of, what you would like for Rob and I to talk about more. Instead of just going over the same things all the time, is there anything you would like for us to anything you would like for us to talk about on any particular show that we do on Sundays? Just let us know, and whatever we get, that's what we'll talk about.
Bill, if I fly you up, can you help me set up our studio? Because that's what we're trying to do. And then you can certainly come in and join remotely if you want, or hang out from time to time with us. That would be awesome.
Oh, I would love that.
Hey, Bill, we have a big ass hot tub outside. We
have
an in-ground pool.
We have a guest room.
We have Sean's getting ready to build his
tiki bar.
Yep. So, Kimberly.
Oh, anytime, Kim. Anytime, sweetheart.
So going back to the activity, we had some awesome activity. So this is house number 3 that we know that the figurines have moved, which is cool. Now I kept them between your last house and
this house.
Between that, they've been staying at my house, and for a while I didn't even bother salting them. I wanted to see whether or not they would move. They didn't do anything. I mean, they sat for the longest time. So it's kind of neat that we've been here for such a short period, and sure enough, We've got movement.
Come on up, Bill. We'll wait. We're waiting for you. Come on, honey.
That's saying something because we don't even have a guest room ready, and she's just ready for people to come up.
Bill, you let me know when you're coming, baby. I'll have that guest room ready.
Shay will be coming. We're gonna have a bunch of guys coming up.
We can't wait.
We love to have people over by.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to tell you right now, when summer comes, as soon as the pools are open, we're going to do a huge pool party here for housewarming.
Yes.
You don't need to bring a gift.
Nope, nothing.
Bring yourself
Yep.
and some alcohol. We're going to have a big party.
We're definitely going to have.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, Amber, are you still on? Because you know what you're bringing. She doesn't eat Jello shots, so it's
no, I don't do the Jello
more
shots.
for me and Tom. We're good with that.
Yeah,
Be all
right. I love Tom. I could hang out with Tom and Jen all day.
Again,
They're
Grounded
such
Paranormal.
good people.
It'll be a blast by far. So we have some really cool stuff going on. Looking forward to seeing what happens next. Actually, it was Janie. I actually put a post out about this. But Janie's idea, even after all this happened, is she turned around. She said, "You know what? Sean was still at work. He did not know about it." And she said, "Let's not tell Sean about it, just out of curiosity, see if he experiences something."
Because the two of us had experienced something within a short period of
Very
time
short.
that same day. So I thought, let's not say anything to Sean yet and see if he experiences anything here at the house. Because Sean has experienced a couple of little things since we've moved in. Excuse me.
Awesome, Irene. Glad to hear that. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the
Yeah.
Jelly shots and Budweiser. Tom, you are wow. We're about an iron gut.
Sheila, I would love to. Where do you live, honey? But we're having one here at this house too.
Oh, she's letting us know. We're having one here.
Come on over, Sheila.
She'll help coordinate it for us.
Come on, Sheila.
And
I have my stepdaughters coming down for New Year's too. That'll be great.
That will be.
Yeah,
most
will.
definitely.
Absolutely.
You got to have some family here as far as for the holiday. It was unexpected.
Absolutely.
Which turned out to be phenomenal. 'Cause you
My
haven't had
daughter
family in
and
how
her
long?
family. I haven't gotten to spend a holiday meal with my family in probably 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for you guys, if we haven't told you, certainly happy Thanksgiving to everybody. If
Yes.
you're the type that doesn't really like the holidays, hey, hit us up. We'll be glad to go ahead and rock your holiday for you.
Yeah.
We
Right.
like having fun. We really do.
We do. We really
So.
do. We're serious when it comes to the paranormal, but we like to have fun when it comes to friends and family and just hanging out and having a good time. And we ate way too much. Way
Yes.
too much.
Oh my God, yes.
We're still eating way too much. I just prepped 2 huge lasagnas before we started live so we can have the kids over for dinner tonight. So
It
we're
was
ready.
fantastic.
We're ready.
Couple things I want to talk about. One, I want to talk about entities.
Okay.
Entities, human.
No.
Like entities that for attachments, entities that like to hide in closets, entities that talk in people's minds. Things can happen, and Melody just jumped on. Hey, Melody.
Hey, Mel.
With this field, there's all kinds of different energies that we run into, and I definitely enjoy talking about them. And even whether it's the energies, whether it's the paths.
Thank you, Kimberly.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate that.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes, she is, no doubt. We investigate a lot of the residential side, residential cases that are having issues. And we do like to go because we like giving back to people. And what it is we like being able to go ahead and helping them get their comfort back. Where they can live
Absolutely.
in their house.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to be afraid in their own home. That should be your safe zone.
So to hear that people are terrorized, to hear that kids are going through some type of terror or whatever, we do what we can to go ahead and help that out.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, Irene is one of the only investigators, as far as Irene, where are you at right offhand? Where'd she say in Japan? Huge Japanese New Year's feast. There's very, very few people that actually investigate. So Irene, hats off to you. I think that's fantastic that you investigate over there.
Absolutely.
Tokyo, Japan. Beautiful. Again, just want to throw it out there to you, Irene. Fantastic. I think that's awesome that regardless that there's not very many people that do it, that you do it.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And I'm curious, over in Tokyo, anybody that's over the pond, over the waters, up in Canada, do you guys ever run into anything that I'm starting to talk about now, which is entities? Entities are not demons.
Mm-mm.
Separate. And again, this is just our opinion. You can, if you're a demonologist.
And it's based on our own experiences
Correct.
too. It's not
Correct.
like we're just pulling it out of our
No.
heads here.
So Entities are master manipulators. They're the type that can get into your head and make anything of your past. That your mind is like a filing cabinet, and they can go through it and they know everything
Pull what
about
they
you.
want. Yep.
And they can make something that you have been embarrassed about or would never want to have or wouldn't want to feel or sense. They can make it like it had just happened yesterday. I mean, realistically, they're incredible about that. A lot of times you'll hear about where people do something extremely, extremely foul. Everybody that's their neighbors of the person is like, oh, he was such a great person. He would never do that. And then this person goes on and does something extremely horrific to themselves or to somebody
Sheila,
else.
I would love that. Did you see that? I didn't see it.
What?
Sheila's going to bring some chickens and egg baskets. Yes. I'm waiting, Sheila.
Did you
Sorry.
have a moment?
Yes. I just saw it, so I had to say something.
My goodness, I see that.
Chickens, Rob.
All right, explain your chickens.
I can't wait to get my chickens. That was the main reason, one of the main reasons that he bought this house. I wanted to have chickens. And when he came to look at it, I already had the chicken coop out back. Everything's all ready to go. All we got to do is put the chickens in it. And Sheila's coming to bring some. Come on, Sheila. Now you lost train of thought, didn't you?
No.
Nothing else,
I'm
guys.
trying to limit what I'm going to say.
Nothing else, guys. This is going to be a great comedy hour.
Oh, yeah. Our investigations do not go quite like this.
No, they don't.
But it's fantastic.
It is.
She is extremely excitable about she always wanted to live in a place where she can have her chickens.
I haven't since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, when we were kids, we did.
So I promised her at this house, she will have chickens. She will be able to go ahead and do that. So see, all the more reason. Shout out. You can read now. Come on.
Who am I shouting out to? We've got a bunch of them.
No, you've shouted out to everybody so far.
Is that Louisa?
Louisa Brown? Thank you so much for being on.
Hi, sweetheart.
She's looking forward to keeping chickens too.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I'm
not
not the only one. No, some of it I can't.
How can you not read it?
Because after a
it's
minute.
a huge TV behind the camera.
Pay attention. After a minute, the white background starts to make the letters look blurry. I don't know why I have bad eyes. What can I tell you?
And yet she's going to scream at me. Did you see that? I saw that. No, you didn't see that. You saw that. See.
Irene says that, yes, I've run into several dark entities. Some have told me to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the entities, like heck. And he tried to make me stop talking about where I lived, but I don't get intimidated by them. Good girl.
Irene, that's exactly my point. Unfortunately, a lot of suicides are caused by, or not necessarily somebody who just went through a horrible breakup, which breakups absolutely can crush you. Thank you so much for watching us for the first time. Hope you enjoy it. If you don't learn anything about the paranormal, you will get a laugh once or twice. I guarantee it.
Yeah, if nothing else, like I said, it's good comedy hour. But if you guys give us feedback, let us know what you would like to hear more about. Whether it be more about us, more about our team, more about what we do, more whatever you want the conversation to be. If you give us some feedback, let us know. We'll accommodate.
So again, with the entities themselves, just like Irene was saying, they can get in your head, and people will, even if you don't have to have abilities when it comes to an entity. An entity can create an empathic cord connection with you where you can turn around and basically be on the same level, and you'll actually hear it inside your head. Anybody sitting right next to you would not actually hear the voice.
Thing. Yep.
It will be the same voice, and that voice can go 24/7. We've known clients that before we started working with them, they would put on headphones, turn it up, try to fall asleep to it. It makes it extremely difficult because you can't function as a human. When you don't have sleep, you don't function.
Right.
Again, they're master manipulators. When they turn around and they break you away from your sleep pattern, they start pushing you to be more antisocial. If you're a couple, what they'll do is they'll be picking on one and not the other. So the other's going, "Are you losing your mind? You okay?"
Yeah, they want to alienate you from everything and everyone that can possibly get you back on track.
Correct. So it's a divide and conquer scheme. It's one of the oldest that's been around for the longest. And again, that's not even a demonic energy. So, you always hear about how these, this a demon and it's so horrible. If you read in the news and you just kind of pay attention to whenever they do actually report the news, look at some of the horrific things that have happened. And a lot of times It has nothing to do with that individual's normal mindset. That individual would not have normally done what they have done.
Right.
Again, no different than people that have committed suicide. There are people that commit suicides because of obviously extreme sorrow, tragedy, depression, but there's also things that will drive them to do that. And this is what we're talking about, the entity. The entity is not something to be taken lightly. If you have a problem with it, as far as, somebody starts reporting, hey, I'm hearing a voice. The first thing is, are you usually hearing that voice? And if there's another person next to you, are you the only one hearing it? That's when there's a concern.
Do they hear it too? Miss Louisa says this is her first time watching us.
Yeah, I said thank you so much for that being the first time.
That's great. I'm so glad.
I think it's fantastic.
I think that's amazing. I try to block him out as much as possible.
It works really well too.
And who's this Lori Johnson person? She says, you two have awesome energy together. Thank you. I think we do. Sometimes.
Do you pay attention to who anybody is?
No, Rob, no.
Glenn, can you read Glenn's question? You want me to make it bigger for you?
Rob's about to have to finish his live by himself. Because you're going to make me say a bad word.
Okay, go ahead.
Glenn Morgan says, question, my cousin has neighbor passed in an apartment next to his and told me he heard noise. Has cold spots in one of his rooms. He asked, could it be loved ones that have passed? It has neighbor that is, or he has a neighbor that has passed. I know like your feelings. I don't know how to answer that.
So if you have activity picks up after somebody passes, we don't just normally assume that it's because somebody passed that the activity picked up. If that person was in control, the reason why I'm saying that is my house. I had 5 kids for quite a while. Having 5 kids, you turn around. If something was moved, move something somewhere. If the ghost did that,
you don't stop.
If something was moved in my house or noise was made in the house, for the most part,
you assume it's one of the kids.
I wouldn't have paid no attention to it whatsoever.
Right.
So if you take that person out and all of a sudden you go in and is it a different environment for you because all of a sudden then the noises are all different to you. Even if you feel cold spots, it's too early. Cold spots, I rule out just because unless you've been in the house long enough, where some rooms are colder compared to other rooms. And I get it, Glenn, you've been around enough that you can feel the cold spots, and more likely what Glenn is talking about is most of the time they're actually, it's almost spherical where it's like a ball and you can actually feel the cold as you stick your hand in and you go to the other side, you feel it out.
Yep.
It can be much larger than that, but that's very common. Depending on the type, the activity has picked up for a lot of people as the person is getting ready to pass. We've had a lot of cases where the activity picked up right up until the person passed. And there's basically some type of closing, whether it's the door slamming or something. It's kind of like, see ya.
Right.
And the door shuts and we're out of here. So,
done.
That has happened in the past, been reported several times. So it's a little bit, we don't have a lot to go on with that offhand. Could it be? As long as it's not hurting anybody, there's a difference too, on the activity. People are not getting hurt. It's not, we say a location is active. It doesn't mean that it's anything to be scared of.
Right. Sometimes it's not a matter of their spirit there that are harming anybody. Sometimes it's just a matter of their spirit here. And we want to know what the heck it is or who it is.
Knowing the difference between a haunting, which is something it definitely seems to be going out of its way to scare the hell out of you.
And a visitation.
Yes.
From a loved one. That's
okay, there you
go.
There's
completely
the
different things. 2 completely different things.
Renee, my first entity was when I was very young, under 7, but it helped me see it.
Helped me see it then. Helped me see what I can see and hear. I learned quick. Know the feeling, sweetheart.
to me, that's not, when I'm talking about entity, I'm talking about the negative side, whether or not that was your spirit guide or somebody else that was aiding you along to help teach you that, which you've been through as well.
Absolutely.
Definite difference. When we're talking about entities itself, again, my opinion, just based on our experience, entities are the ones these are negative energies that are definitely have a desire to go ahead and cause chaos in your life. They're feeding off your energy because they will constantly keep you scared. They'll keep you drained, and they manipulate you. Basically, the way to know is there's a type of an entity that's an attachment entity. It's going to be basically you're the host. You become the host where this thing wants to attach to you. It doesn't separate. Once it gets on you, it wants to stay on you. And that's usually when you start hearing the voice with you as well.
Right.
Doesn't matter where your location's at. You'll start hearing that voice and it keep going at that
And
speed.
then there are some that I like to call jumpers because they'll jump on you and they don't necessarily want to stay. Like when we were at the wedding
Influences.
and you said
that wasn't, that
there
to
was
me
something coming through me. I didn't remember it. And then we were on another location
that
where
was a demonic energy.
Yeah,
That's
that was
completely different when
way
something
different.
is reaching out to you. They treat, Kimberly's right. They absolutely do feed on your fear. And you'll notice you can take, like with an entity, a demonic energy doesn't care who's in the room. It's going to try to intimidate everybody. Quick shout out to Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How you
First
doing?
time watching. GEM
So glad you
City
could join
Paranormal
us.
Group in Ohio.
So glad. Oh, I lived in Ohio and Cincinnati for about 12 years.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So I just lost that wonderful train of thought. Damn it. I'd be back. Kind of ricochets every once in a while. I notice that family members who are passing do not try to haunt a residential house, and they are very careful about it. We rarely do you get haunting from somebody who passes unless it's by suicide. That's very common, and it scares people, so they feel like it's a haunting. But most often, it's step outside your whatever your belief system is for a minute, and just hear me out for a second. This is my belief again when it comes to suicides. You'll hear where some people say in certain religions, "Hey, look."
Thank you, Glenn.
Suicide is a sin, or if you commit suicide, you go to hell, you go to purgatory. What would be a more horrific purgatory than being in the midst of your loved ones where you committed suicide in the house and your loved ones are still there, but you can't have interaction with them?
And then there are those times where whether the loved one has committed suicide or just died by accident or died by disease or natural cause or whatever, there are cases, and I know of several right off the top of my head that I won't name names, where you're the one who's holding your loved one here. They're
Yes.
ready to cross over. They're ready to move on and do other things on the other side. But you allow your grief to linger for so long
Yes.
that they can't go anywhere because they're so worried that you may do something to hurt yourself simply because you're grieving. So
Hold
bad.
that so we come right back to this for a second. Can you hold that for a minute?
Absolutely.
So suicide, what happens is, again, if you just think outside the box, what I'm trying to tell you. And the reason why is because I've got a medium who can actually see the living on the other side, or whatever, the dead. You can call them what you want. I don't care. They're interacting. So it's
Right.
kind of silly to say that they're dead, but I get
Exactly.
it. She can see people on the other side. Call them what you want to call them. Doesn't matter to me. I know she can because it's been proven over and over and over and over and over and over. Close your ears. And over and over and over again.
And he still tests me every
Absolutely.
day.
So when a suicide happens, and this is not 99% of all cases, but we've had a lot of cases where somebody will call, everything has been perfectly fine in the house, somebody commits suicide, and now things are going nuts, absolutely nuts. And I get it. You're a skeptic about that. I get it. No problem.
And we've also had those parents.
Hang on a second before you make me lose my tune. What's all you doing?
Okay, but this goes with
I just
it.
don't want to keep kicking you, okay? Never mind, I'll start kicking you again. Trick right back over there. Anyway, so the person on the other side who, if you come into this world, you go out, do you have directions either way? Do you have directions when you're a baby? Do you know what somebody takes care of you? So I think it's kind of silly. And again, this is just my belief, okay? But is it really infeasible that you're going to need some type of guidance when you leave this world? Now, if you believe, hey, this is it, lights out, you're done, that's for you. That's okay. I'm not trying to change your mind. If you're on the fence or you're kind of open-minded, if you turn around and cross and you're crossing on your own time, not the time that's actually supposed to be for you, so you commit suicide, now you're kind of stuck in transition. You don't have the Grim Reaper. You don't have the boatman, the ferryman to cross you over, however you want to say. If you want to go ahead and have that, then that's where we come in at. What happens is because that person gets stuck, they try to make whatever noise or they try to get anybody's attention because now they can't actually talk to their loved ones. Right. They start trying to create some type of energy as far as and some will learn how to move things, some will not, or make sounds or do whatever. But it scares the hell out of the people that's there. It's not on purpose. They're kind of stuck. Now, where do they go? What do they do? Maybe they were all, the other side is BS. You don't have heaven, you don't have hell. And
Right.
now all of a sudden they're in that house and they know when they go outside that door, leave that house, now they go in front of judgment. And if you're a bad guy, you go, yeah, never mind. Don't want to. I'm going to stay in this house. And that's cases we've run into as well. Now, people have called us and we turn around and we've done crossings over the phone. We've done crossings at locations and no more activity whatsoever.
None.
Now, 1 or 2 times, okay, you can say it's a placebo effect, whatever. But this has happened 99% of the time. All of a sudden, nothing. There's no more issues. Yep. So going back to yours, as far as where you were just talking about, that was great point.
I was going to say a lot of people, especially parents, don't want to believe that
Yes.
it's suicide.
Yes.
We've had those
Yes.
cases where and you have to tell them, no, this is they wanted to do this. You have to understand something. We had a lady that thought someone killed her son. They didn't. She took his own life. But until I had to tell her, he's here, and he's here because he's trying to convince you that he's the one that did it, but he's still with you. He's okay. And with, I think it was Irene. Yeah, Irene. I agree with you to a certain extent, but from personal experience, Irene says that I agree with you to an extent, but they are in limbo and cannot cross over. I don't believe that, Irene, because I have an adopted child, let's put it that way, that I practically raised. And he too took his own life. And I know for a fact he's not in limbo. I know for a fact he's crossed over. So I don't believe that's true for all spirit. But like I said, we've had those parents where, and we still know some, where the child did take their own life, or even if they didn't take their own life, they've just died. And the parent doesn't want to let go. They do not want to let go. And when they do that, they hold that spirit here so they can't move on. I've had spirits say to me, please just tell my mom to move on. Tell her to live her life so that I don't have to be here looking after her and trying to make sure she doesn't do something or waste her life dwelling on my death. They don't want that for
Another
us.
one, the woman that turned around and had her, I asked about reoccurring dreams because that's one thing, because sometimes dreams are actually communication, especially those that are very detailed. And Janie does not, I give no information to Janie. I'm trying to go ahead and bust her out and go, you didn't get this one, whatever. Because to me, that would be like something new. But it's always a challenge. But I turn around and I asked the woman if she's had repetitive dreams. And she goes, yeah, but it's not like my son's actual personality. He wouldn't do that. But basically, he steps in front of her. She opens the door and he steps in front of her face right up into her and says, with her finger in her face, with his finger in her face, and says, stop it.
Yeah.
And when we were actually at the location, Janie just stops and then walks right up to the client and steps right up in her face and puts her finger in her face and says, stop it. That's what he's telling you to do. And that was it. The mother was contemplating suicide herself. The mother was so distraught about grieving over her youngest child who she had the strongest connection with. And she did not want to
believe that he took his own life. She so wanted to believe that someone else did that to him, and they didn't. He did that himself.
People on the other side have a much larger picture. And I'm not talking about the ones that are stuck in limbo. I'm talking about those that transition. Those that get to the other side can come back, check on you, do whatever. So those that go to the other side, they have a bigger picture and they can be staying there. And it's not that they're staying there again. It's almost like you're guilting them to stay there because they need you to start living again, get up with your life.
Yep.
Henny, thanks for being on, sweetie. I appreciate it. And again, this goes for some people that are going to be listening to me right now, where it's very personal. Holidays are rough times when you have somebody that's lost. Let me ask you, very simple. I'm talking straight to you right now. If you turn around as a parent, would you want your son or daughter to suffer every holiday? Would you want them to be so doom and gloom and hating life and be miserable because, unfortunately, you checked out around the holiday? Or would you want them to be looking down at them and knowing that they're happy and smiling and going on? Exactly. And I hate to put it that way, but that's really what it comes down to.
It really does. We
have heard so many people she has talked to, and it'd be different if there was no legitimacy to it. And again, testing.
Right.
I can ask a client for a particular picture because then I have some solid information to go from when I go, okay.
If you're really talking to him, what does he look like?
Which that's what I do.
I get this a lot.
But when she can tell me, like if the person has a strange part and where it's parted at, the color of the hair, and I'm looking at it. I don't have somebody going, oh yeah, like a lot of clients will be like, they want to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to believe. I want to believe that you're giving me absolutely accurate information. And if I have something I can physically look at, and that's why I say I've known too many times this has been true. So God bless every one of you guys for whoever has lost anybody. So sorry for your loss.
Absolutely. My heart goes out to you.
We have couple people we know, friends, one person can tell you how many days it's been, how many months, how many years, and how many hours it's been. That's horrible. And I'm so sorry that you've lost somebody, but that is horrible.
It is.
You are stopping your own life from living. And what about the rest of your family members? You're stopping them too.
Exactly.
I believe that Kimberly says, I believe those that commit suicide are trapped in between and become a residual haunting and just need our help crossing. They can't cross on their own. But like Janie said, not all are stuck. Some go straight to heaven. I think that those that had unfinished business or tragically commit suicide and left loved ones behind stick around, just like Robert said. I shouldn't have read your first one.
Until we tell them it's okay to move on.
And again, when we're asking for that, Scott, thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Hi, Scott.
When we say we're helping to do it, if I say I'm doing a crossing or we're doing a crossing, look, we're asking for the higher powers. Okay, it's not myself. We're making a squeaky wheel and trying to get attention to it is our belief. Okay,
we're the go-between.
It's no different than Janie sitting there saying, "Look, it's not me that's getting all this information. My guides are giving it to me, so to pass on. Right. I'm a go-between.
I'm just the middleman to give the message up. I'm the messenger. That's all I am.
So we're basically
and for
doing
you,
the same
you're
thing.
the tool. You're the tool that
we create. And again, I'm no different than power of prayer. How many of you guys honestly believe in the power of prayer? And it doesn't matter what
I'm
religion.
So sad right now for some reason.
Are you?
Look,
see, that's sympathy for me having to deal with you all the time, beating up on me.
No, that's somebody on here.
All right, who's going through a really sad time right? Is somebody on here crying right now? Or
is somebody crying right now because I feel really, really sad? I've got tears in my eyes.
Don't tell us. Hold on. Here, I'm going to go up through the comments and you tell me if you can feel. I've never done this before. I'm putting you on the spot.
I've never done it before either, but I feel really sad all of a sudden. And I know it's not us in this room, so it has to be somebody that's
watching. Guys can watch when I go through I'm just kind of sliding up to see if she feels anybody.
That's my tummy.
You ought to feed that thing from time to time.
I did. I ate chocolate before I came down here.
Picking up on anybody so far?
Kimberly, not that Kimberly, the other Kimberly from PA.
All right.
Kim, what have you been depressed about lately, sweetheart? You've been being really, 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 really positive on Facebook. I see that, all your positive posts and comments, but I feel like there's something that's got you feeling, I don't know what it is, but I feel like you cry a lot by yourself. What's going on, Kim?
Sandy, were you upset? Jennifer, I'm crying because it's snowing.
Kim said, stop it. I'm sorry, honey, but I feel that.
The talk. I'm so sorry, Sandy. In all sincerity. Well, okay. You get credit for one.
She said I can't say on
blame
here.
For the other.
I'm sorry, Kim. It's going to pass, sweetheart. Whatever it is that's got you down, it's going to pass. I promise.
Look, guys. I am horrifically sorry for your loss. In all sincerity. But the worst thing we do is we hold it in, and it's sad, Bridget. I am so sorry.
It's going to be okay, Miss Bridget.
But talking out loud, can they hear us when we talk out loud?
Oh, absolutely. They can hear you when you think.
Thinking is energy. Your brain waves are energy. I know that as an investigator because I can sit there and actually, before I even say something, we'll get the energy. We'll get the answer a lot of times. But when a lot of people hold themselves back. Look, there's times you're going to be in your bedroom at night, you're getting ready for bed, you're in the bathroom. It doesn't matter where you're at. Just talk to your loved one that's on the other side. Yeah. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? And to feel like you're crazy about it or something, hell, we're the ones going in a little dark room by ourselves at night, cutting all the lights out and everything and talking basically to ourselves. That's why I like to have Janie around. So at least I feel like.
Yes, we will, Jennifer. We absolutely will, sweetheart.
So take the time to let it out. Don't try to hold everything in. Bridget, actually, I want to hit that for a second because we had and I'm not going to hold it up for a minute, but okay, so you get this idea of this, okay, this particular character. We were at the Martinsburg Roundhouse, and we were there at the Martinsburg Roundhouse for the paranormal event, which was fantastic.
Is that
Lori
the Bridget?
What's that?
Is Bridget the one that we met there?
No.
Okay.
No. But to your point, Bridget, as far as because no one believes you, a woman walks up and she starts looking and she goes right to that photo of that particular thing. Now, who's going to believe that's real? These are all images that Janie has seen, visually seen, not just images, but actually seen them in reality. To us, they're just an image on a piece of on a board, on a canvas. But it's for us to be able to see that. Here, this woman walks up, and it's been years and years ago when she saw this, and she knew exactly where she saw it, and it was so. She was so drawn to this, and she was like, "You just don't understand." Somebody actually, this is the first time in, I don't remember if it was 2 decades or whatever, 20 years, that somebody, that's what I saw, but nobody would ever believe me. That's horrible. That is so horrible, for that, for how many people hold things in because they don't, nobody's going to believe if they say anything anyway.
You preaching to the choir, honey. People still don't believe me until I prove it.
So many people turn around and call us or email us or text us like, look, I know you're going to think I'm crazy. Stop. we can figure out the crazies. Trust me. It doesn't take too long.
Not at all.
But there are a lot of unexplained things out there. Entities, they're very unexplained. People have tried to get away from them and have committed suicide just to try to get away from them because they've been in their head so much. I had a young man who turned around and he put a gun, he put it up with his family right there. He got to a point where he thought that they had speakers down in the woods and stuff. They were playing some type of prank on him and stuff. And he was so serious that he was so tired of hearing these voices because it's not the thing that you grow up realizing that can happen. So many people are like, I never knew this could be real. We get it. But if you lost somebody, if you don't have the answers, things affect you. Look, you got to let it out, though. You can't hold everything in. We're just not built that way.
Yeah. And you have to remember that you never lose the ones you love as long as you love the ones you've lost.
Irene's over in Japan, and she's one of the only paranormal. Irene, are you on a team over there, or are you just doing it yourself? Very, very, very few people whatsoever do any investigations over there. So again, you're in the same situation. Janie, Lori that was on here. Lori, are you still on? Again, they get to a point where something comes at them, they have to deliver that message. If not, it just keeps coming back to them. So you want to talk about people looking at them and acting, thinking that they're crazy?
Good, Glenn. Glenn says, I've been down, but I have faith. I miss my mom. Christmas is always rough. Mom always loved Christmas. Health and other issues. Sometimes feel like giving up, but I will never give up. Good for you, Glenn. Don't do that. Your mother wouldn't want you to do that.
There you go, Shay. Perfect point Shay just brought up. How many times, we always call it, a kid's imaginary friend. And then yet we've been at locations, we had the one where, somebody was reading the child a book every night from underneath the bed. Every night there's an open book underneath the bed and the child is having these conversations that are obviously two-way conversations.
Miss Bridget, can you say what other type of thoughts? She says that other thoughts have crossed her mind.
And guys, if you can't talk right now while we're doing this, I get it. If it's very personal and you're worried about, and that's another horrible thing as far as, look, I'm not judgmental. Janie's not, no. She's judgmental against me, but I catch the brunt for all that. I can't understand why.
He catches the brunt for all of that.
But seriously, we're not judgmental. If you've got something,
Glenn,
you've done
please,
something,
I'm sorry. If you ever need anybody to talk to, Mr. Glenn, you can contact me. I'm on Facebook. Hit me up on Messenger. I'd be glad to talk to you anytime.
Irene, thank you so much for sharing again. We sincerely appreciate you guys sharing. Look,
yes, Jennifer, I agree.
This is part of our networking that we do. And you guys are welcome to go ahead and text us, message us. Our names pop up. We have no problem sharing anything with you.
Absolutely.
And we're just giving you our own information. And it's information that has been learned through numerous, there's so many. I can't wait for so many more investigations.
Yeah, right.
I'm an advocate for it only for so much of this because what I have seen or seen indirectly through, but there's always, it's not just I take Janie's word for everything. You can forget that. She can forget that. She knows it. That's why she's laughing.
I wish.
There's always got to be something that helps to back it up, you know? Now, if Janie turns around,
Kim, contact me, honey.
If Janie turns around and says, "Hey, look, don't go that normal way that you go to work every day," you can bet your ass I'm going a different way. I mean, I'm not that stupid. I've learned
more than welcome, Glenn.
That. So, besides Janie, anybody that has abilities that has helped other people out there, I know there's a couple of people on the live right now, regardless, that has given information, has been willing to help, has either that or has crossed people over. I think it's phenomenal. Anything we can do to try to help. Rob, what was in my house that you got rid of? It wasn't a demon, I'm sure. No, it was an entity. Shay, sorry. I'm just reading it. That's the only reason I called you Sheila. Shay is a very, very close friend of mine. So she's like, I want to make sure you're not getting mad at me. She's doing it with an Irish accent, though, when I say that.
Yes, Jennifer, I agree with you, dear. Jennifer McCart. We all have a spectrum of light. We just needed to know the correct path.
Yep. Zira, thanks for jumping on.
Hi, Zira.
And going to Jennifer's conversation for just a second for her statement. Do you guys realize how much of the light spectrum in general we actually can see? If we can only see basically like 5% of the actual light spectrum.
Get him, Shay.
If we can only see like 5% of the actual light spectrum, how much other things besides light are we not seeing?
Right.
I mean, seriously, look it up for yourself. That's factual. Find out for yourself.
Yeah.
To me, it just gives you that much more reasoning behind understanding that there are a lot more out there than what we have.
Oh, there's so much more out there. I'm telling you, I think we could probably live to be 100 years old and do this every day and still not even touch a fraction of what's out there. Honest to goodness. I've been able to see and hear spirit since I was 9 years old. I'm now 56 years old. I haven't even scratched the surface yet of what my abilities are capable of or what's out there that I have yet to experience. I hate that thing.
Speaking of which, I just want to change up.
You said you weren't going to bring that in the house.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. I said, Rob, you're not taking it to the house. Are you? It's not going in the house. Don't worry about it.
I didn't bring it to the house that day. I brought it to the house today.
Anyway. I'm done with him.
So you can see this is pretty unscripted. She has no idea that we again, some of the final stuff we're moving from the other house. One is the Devil's Toy Box. Devil's Toy Box is very simple, a cube made of mirrors, inward facing. I was just wondering what was Sean going by. I'm not used to anybody going by that side of the house. So,
Mr. Glenn, you are. Told you, Gina, this is how he is. And I got to live here. And she said, Robert's in trouble now. Scott said, Robert's in trouble now. We don't have a doghouse, and I'm not letting him use my chicken coop.
All right. So for those that don't know about it, okay, that's called a Devil's Toy Box. And the Devil's Toy Box years ago came out, was short-lived, died away.
She only gave me permission to hit you with a broom.
So
love it.
So the Devil's Toy Box, again, it's I get for anybody being a skeptic about it. The reason why Janie's not a skeptic about it, because we know what happened. It's mirrors all facing inside. The idea is there's no up, down, left, or right. Once, if they go into it and energy goes into it, it shouldn't be able to get out. So anybody who has a friend that's an electrician, ask them this question.
I'm going to, Zara.
If you turn around and have a box just made of mirrors, should it be able to go ahead and hold energy inside of it? Very, very sorry for that, Henny. Very, very sorry. Should it be able to go ahead and hold energy? We had a location where Janie would not go into a commercial kitchen. Would not go in there. She did not know that I had brought the Devil's Toy Box with me, and I don't bring it out very often. This night she comes, she's like, Rob, come on. As usual. That is how she is. Tell me it's not how you are.
It is the truth. They usually just grab them and start dragging.
I gotta go. Come on, I gotta pull. We gotta go here. I'm like, what? And no time to get a flashlight. Won't you know that most of those tables happen to be a very sensitive height for most men, okay? Very sensitive. So she's got this
great, guys.
Cat vision, night vision thing going on, and I'm trying not to lose things on the corners of the tables as we go through. And she goes, here, stand right here. Do you feel this vibration? I did feel the vibration, but I figured, there's compressors on some of the machines that are there. As far as, again, it was a commercial kitchen. So I'm thinking it's
Thank you,
vibration.
Glenn.
So I said, well, tell you what, this is a great place. Prior to this, she'd been in the kitchen one time. What happened?
I didn't like it. I got sick and had to run out and throw up in a trash can.
Which we only know she only throws up because of one reason. So turn around. Suddenly this night she decides, hey, here we go. She wants to go in here. I just happened to go ahead and bring the devil's toy box. So I said, you know what? I got something I'll put right here. This would be cool. I got something I'll put on it. So once we got back out and I got a flashlight so I could see what the hell we were doing, with the devil toy box, I go ahead and put it in the same spot that she had me stand at. Not a problem. Halfway through the investigation, I grab a millimeter and I go over to it, and it's at 14 point whatever, and then it goes down to 11 something. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Why did it move? But if I took the millimeter and go to the opposite side, it was almost as though I'm chasing an energy inside. It would start out higher and go back down to lower.
Yeah, from one side of the box to the other. Yeah.
So there's a table, stainless steel table up on top. I go ahead and I check the surface of the table, make sure it's not picking up anything. I set the box up there. I go ahead and check the box again, does the same thing. I'm like, this is crazy. It's 14 something down to 11 something. I'm like, this is, in my rush, I didn't check the floor. It's got to be wiring under the floor. I checked the floor. Floor is hot. I'm like, okay, that explains why somehow or another this is happening. Put the box back down on the floor, go back. We finished the investigation. Now, there was like 12 or 14 people there that night that all witnessed this.
Yeah, it was a crowd of people.
It was a crowd of people. So at the end of the night, I go back over and I do the same thing. I check the box. It's 14 something, goes down to 11 something. I run around the box, chasing it, whatever. I check the table out, do the same thing, set it up on the table. I'm like, well, let me check the floor again. There's nothing on the floor.
Nothing on the floor.
I'm like, what the hell? So I go beneath. There's no wires on the floor. There wasn't any wiring underneath, which I just naturally assumed there had to be wiring. I figured I'd go ahead and check it.
I told you there was something there.
So, yeah, evidently. So I take the box and I go into a
He does,
another
Henny.
room.
He just brought it here today, Henny. He does. Get him.
Yes, I do. This one doesn't have anything in it, okay? Again, hang on. Bear with me for those that don't know this whole issue that actually happened. So I turn around and I bring it over to a very different section of the building, and it's still doing the same thing, keeping the energy. Well, speed up. 2 weeks later, almost 2.5 weeks, somewhere around there, I've had it on the outside because my wife at the time wouldn't let me go ahead and bring it in the house. Yes, I was scared. I do sleep. Hey, Chrissy, thanks for jumping on.
Chrissy, how are
Travis
you,
and
darling?
Sarah, thank you so much for being on.
Hi, Travis, Sarah.
So we've got a broke down vehicle. I set it up on the hood. It's parked right up next to the garage. It's got a huge cedar tree right next to it. Great wind block. Just bear that in mind. So after a while, I decide, you know what? It sits in the vehicle. It sat in the vehicle at first for a couple of weeks. And then I pull it out. I put it on the hood. The wife is home. I'm not ready to battle. I was like, never mind. I leave it on the hood. The hood's a very flat hood. So by the third day, I'm like, you know what? I grew some cojones and I'm going to go ahead and take this box in. So as I pull up next to it. And now suddenly the box is on the ground, busted and shattered into all kinds of pieces. Where or how, we didn't have enough wind, honestly. There was not wind. It blew this. The box is heavy. It's
You're right,
pretty heavy.
Gina.
What's that?
By the look on Janie's face, nothing seems to be debatable. Now, when it comes to that thing, I've told him, I don't ask a whole lot of him. Just don't make me have to deal with that stuff where I live. I got to do it on location with you or at clients' houses, or even we have been to flea markets and the man will walk people up to me and say, just tell me what you pick up. But I want to be able to just relax at home and not have to worry about that. Just do the woosah and be done. Now, Rob's got it going 24/7.
All right, yeah.
I drink coffee.
And it's not even Irish coffee, Mom.
Nope, it's just plain coffee.
Shay, you got to teach her, man. Got to teach her how to drink coffee. So there's nothing in that box in particular. But again, for a couple of weeks, we definitely had an energy that stayed.
That was in that box.
For some reason or another. And I don't know why. And I'm looking for another location to do it again so we can check it out.
And he
again.
just thinks he's bringing it in this house afterwards. He's not. I'm going to get Shay down here with me, make sure he doesn't. Shay, when he takes this box out on location again, sweetheart, you got to go with us.
Again, there's nothing with it this time. The reason why this house has things happening to it is possibly this person right here.
Miss Henrietta, I don't doubt it a bit. I don't doubt it one bit.
Guys, we are out of time. We had a blast today by far. Thank you so much for being on with us. Say, we'll get Scott. He's good for it though.
Cool. Come on, Scott.
So if he helps me collect one, we can go ahead and then we can
Nope.
check it
If
out.
he collects one, you're with him. You better take it to your house, honey. Don't you bring that over here. We don't want none of it. Okay, guys, again, before we go, please, please, please give us some feedback. Let us know what you would like to hear us talk more about, whether it be ourselves, personal. They need to get to know us. I want them to know who you are. I'm going to tell them spilled beans.
No, you don't.
Or whether you would like to hear about more locations, if you would like to hear our some of our audio that we've captured or some of the evidence that we've gotten, or just hear about some of the locations that we've been to, whatever it might be, just let us know so that if we get feedback, then we know what to give you guys on these lives every Sunday. Besides just Rob trying to intimidate me, which ain't going to happen.
Tracy, I don't know if we give you a shout out. I want to say hey to Tracy.
Hi,
as well.
Tracy.
Guys, love and light to all of you guys. We had a blast. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Look, there's a couple of you. If you need to reach out, seriously, we're here for you.
We're
Feel
here.
free
Kim,
to
you
reach
know you
out.
can contact me anytime, sweetheart. Glenn, you too, darling.
So if you've got something, Henny, same thing. You're please love you guys to pieces. Appreciate it, and it's not all talk. We do try to network with people and try to have fun. And again, if we can help, let us know.
Absolutely, please. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.